The Book of Boba Fett episode 7 has dropped on Disney Plus this morning. It's the finale episode of the season, I think, or series. I'm not entirely sure. There's potential. They could continue on with a second season. There's plenty of other characters in the Star Wars galaxy that Boba Fett can warm the bench for. If you guys have not checked out the Book of Boba Fett yet because, I don't know, you're not into Boba Fett or the trailers put you off, or you're just still salty that you have to wait a whole extra year for Mando season 3, don't worry guys, you get to have Boba Fett and a little splash of Mando in this show. So if you have not seen the episodes yet and are not caught up with the show, you should probably go get yourself a subscription, because while I thought the first 4 episodes, some of them were decent, some of them not so much, the last 3 episodes of this show are very compelling, and especially to a Star Wars fan, you're gonna geek out for a lot of things. So if you have seen it and you want to hear my thoughts about the nitty-gritty spoilers, stay tuned. What's up everybody, welcome back to The Hez Project. I'm John Odalaza, and today we're going over the finale, episode 7 of the Book of Boba Fett. Okay, so this is going to be a review of not only episode 7, but a retrospective, so to speak, of all episodes, the entirety of the show. And it's a very odd structured show, if you ask me. It had a really good vibe in those first 4 episodes, even with some of the not so great episodes like episode 3. I still think it had a good vibe and it had a good thing going for it, but once it hit that episode 5, now as amazing as that was, it fundamentally changed everything that the show set up to be, and it kind of, I wouldn't say lost its way, but you know, it just changed things up, and maybe that was for the best. A lot of people really did start tuning in those last 2 episodes, and in this one. This is also essential viewing for people who are just stuck with Mandalorian, because Grogu was given up to Luke Skywalker at the season finale of season 2, so you gotta see this to follow up in season 3. So this episode is the all-out war, so to speak. It's not like proper like big ass army on one side and then Boba's gang on the other. It's not really like that. It's kind of just like assassins going after each other, and they take out like his big, you know, gumdrop guards, throw him off a cliff in one scene. Like, that was pretty insane. But yeah, it's pretty mellow for a war. It didn't feel like a war, it just felt like a classic shootout in Star Wars, but a really cool one, and I really enjoyed it. Boba Fett, Fennec, and Mando hold their ground at the bar that they used to go to in the last couple episodes, but then it got blown up last episode. I don't think I mentioned that. So that very attractive lady who run the place, she's now gone. So they stand their ground in that destroyed bar and wait for the Pike Syndicate to come in, and it's just scene after scene. It's actually quite engaging. I found myself thoroughly entertained and engaged with the show, even with the slow and somber moments. You know, the stuff that people were complaining about with Boba, how like he's too soft, and bro, even Cad Bane complains about that. Like, he's in this episode and they have a stare down, and Cad Bane calls him out for being too soft and losing his ways, while Boba Fett's trying to go about things in a different manner because of the journey we saw him endure with the Tuskens. Like, I thought that was really cool. I think the whole Tusken flashback sequences were necessary. Those are some of the stuff that I really enjoyed about the show, about the Boba Fett aspect of the show before we got to episode 5. I really enjoyed all of that, and I liked how it brought a different side of Boba Fett. You know, I think it works for this iteration of Boba Fett. If he's not gonna be just badass 24/7 just killing everyone he sees, you know, this is a good thing to interject into this new respectful elder aged Boba Fett. You know, Boba Fett's forces split up, so the Vespa gang goes with, I believe, Chrysanthemum, or Chrysanthemum goes to a different part all by himself because, you know, he's just a freaking tank, and with just a click of a button the Vespa gang goes morphin time, so they're good all by themselves. They don't need Boba or Chrysanthemum, but the Pike Syndicate, they strike hard, dude. Like, they end up ganging up on Chrysanthemum. I think it's like some of the townspeople, like they were disguised as some of the townspeople maybe, and it kind of threw everybody off, and Chrysanthemum was actually like struggling. He almost died in this episode. Boba and Mando held that one tentacle dude that was working for the mayor hostage, I guess, and they sent him out to kind of negotiate with the Pikes, and he wrote something down. Boba wrote something down for the guy to say, and he didn't read it until he got there, and it's just telling them to leave, and he's like so uncomfortable telling them these things. And then it was basically just a ploy for Boba and Mando to get the higher ground, get on their jetpacks, start taking out as many Pikes as they could. But eventually, yes, they got overwhelmed with a bunch of forces of Pikes, and then that's when the Freetown people came in. That was a really cool sequence. Then eventually the Vespa gang came in, and then these, I don't know what they're called. Literally the only thing that comes to mind to me whenever I see the miniature versions of these things from the prequels is the Trade Federation people going like,
"Where are those droid cars? Master, destroy us!"
I don't know. Anyways, these are obliterators because they're 6 times the size of those. I think there was like 2 of these things roaming through the streets, and no blasters or flamethrowers can penetrate those force fields. They were unstoppable, and I actually thought people were gonna die. Not even Din's Darksaber could penetrate the thing, and that was crazy to me. I thought for sure it was going to, but apparently not. So then Boba flies away, comes back later, riding the goddamn Rancor. I loved it, and dude, the scenes with Boba riding this Rancor, taking down these giant obliterators was awesome, and it harkens back to Godzilla vs. Kong. Like, it reminded me of that, while also a little bit of Jurassic Park. So I really enjoyed this fight, dude. Of course, we kind of saw it coming with Machete bringing him the Rancor, and Boba Fett asks him, "I want to learn how to ride it. Teach me." The Rancor defeats all the obliterators, but Boba Fett gets knocked off by Cad Bane off the Rancor. So now the Rancor is going all over the place, going crazy. Oh crap, and I forgot to mention, Grogu is here. Yes, Grogu flew into Tatooine in an X-Wing. So it's revealed Grogu chose the chain-linked armor shirt that Mando made for him, rather the lightsaber of Jedi Master Yoda. And of course he was gonna go back to Mando, man. He's got such an attachment to him. They've been through so much together, and they care about each other so much. So that was really cool. He landed in the Tatooine in Amy Sedaris' character's, you know, her mechanic shop or whatever you want to call it. She takes Grogu into this carriage thing and starts to bring him back to Mando. Doesn't realize that Mando is currently chasing off one of the obliterators and whatnot. And then that's when, you know, Mando and Grogu finally meet again. And it's a very quick but heartwarming scene, you know. He's like, "Oh my god, I didn't expect to see you." And then like he like briefly sees the chain link shirt. He's like, "Oh, you got the shirt, oh my god." And it was just really nice. I liked it, but then they immediately got blown up, got taken out. Of course, Rancor destroys the thing, but then the Rancor gets loose. Then Grogu puts the Rancor to sleep. He uses like the Force. I thought he was about to kill the thing, but no, he kind of uses the Force to make it go to sleep. That was pretty cool. Then we come back to Cad Bane and Boba Fett. They're about to have a standoff, but Cad Bane gets the better of him. He shoots him straight in the chest. Of course, he's got the armor. He's not dead, but he gets the best of him twice, 2 times in a row, man. This is Boba Fett. And I was thinking for a second, dude, people are going to be pissed. They're going to be pissed that Boba Fett's being jobbed out like this. But then he's got the tool, like that crazy looking weapon that the Tuskens forged for him, and he whips that weapon out while he's laying on it. Pretty crazy. How did you not see it, Cad? So he trips him, man. He gets on top and he stabs Cad Bane in the chest with the tool. Great dialogue exchange between the two, and I really liked their dynamic, and I loved the intensity of this scene. The only thing that I wish that I could have seen more of in this entire show is Cad Bane, because they kind of built him up in this last episode as, you know, the antagonist. I really did wish that they doubled down on it and had him building up as an antagonist since the beginning, as an adversary for Boba Fett. But the fact that he just waltz in the last scene of episode 6 and he's just kind of shoehorned into the villain slot, I don't know, I just don't really like that. And then now he's just killed off, and now he's nothing. He's gone. If you ask me, I think that was a little bit of wasted potential, because I like the Cad Bane character. I haven't seen everything of him in Clone Wars and Bad Batch, but there's a lot of potential with that character. And I know he's up there in age, but man, I feel like he was just kind of wasted. He showed up to die. So Boba is now the crime boss of the town. He's got the people's respect, and he's ruling with respect. So that's really cool. There's potential for a second season. Then it cuts to Din Djarin and Grogu in the starfighter flying in space, and Grogu's just knocking on the glass, and Mando keeps saying, "No, no." I'm like, what you doing, man? Why are you talking to him like that? But apparently Grogu wanted him to go into hyperdrive so that he could, you know, get taken back by how fast they're going. It was adorable. And then there is an end credit scene, a mid-credit scene, if you will. It's back at the Bacta tank, and I was like, oh my god, don't tell me we're gonna have like another episode of just flashbacks or something. No, it was Cobb Vanth inside the Bacta tank, so he is going to be alive, I guess. And then right behind him is the guy from the mod shop with the like blonde yellowish dreads, and he starts heating up like this little knife. I'm like, What is this scene? What are you showing me? Is Cobb Vanth about to get a metal shoulder? Like, what's the significance of this? Why'd you show me this like it's something badass and something I'm supposed to care about? I mean, I like Cobb Vanth. I like the Marshal. He's a cool character. I like that actor, but what was that? Anyways, guys, this show's over. And it's really cool to have Star Wars content to this level, to this quality. Whether this show was like the super big hit that we all wanted it to be or not, honestly, Star Wars TV on Disney Plus has got me more hyped about Star Wars than Marvel TV has got me hyped about Marvel. Like, Hawkeye was just kind of a fart to me. Like, it had some moments, but it was kind of a fart to me, honestly, especially that finale. This finale does bring it home, and especially those last 3 episodes, it brings Star Wars together, all Star Wars fans together to celebrate how dope this IP is, and I just hope that we get some more dope content, because Andor's sounding pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I was not a fan of that announcement when they announced Andor, but I got my eyes on it, don't worry guys. And we have Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming that's taking us way back into the Imperial days, you know, between episode 3 and 4. Same thing with Andor, so it's a whole other timeline than Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian. I really like where Boba Fett went, I guess. It just kind of seemed like a pit stop, you know? So hopefully once we get to Mandalorian Season 3, it elevates and it pushes the story further. You know, this just felt like a couple of days, if you ask me. So guys, let me know down below, what did you think of the Book of Boba Fett as a whole? Did you enjoy it, and what are your thoughts on it? Did you think that the show changed for the good or for the bad? I think it changed for the good during episode 5 when it just completely went away from Boba Fett's story almost. It kind of seemed like it finished for Boba Fett. You know, he completed his healing and he completed all the flashbacks for us. But it was cool to see him ride the Rancor in this finale. So leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And be sure to stick around because we have 2 episodes left of Peacemaker. Yeah, I'm covering Peacemaker. I've been really liking that show too, so you might want to stick around. There's a bunch of content, a lot of Batman content as well. I will be reviewing The Dark Knight this Friday, so you might want to stick around because there is more to come.